Oikein paljon tervetuloa tähän tilaisuuteen. Kirkon ulkoasiain osaston puolesta toivotan teidät kaikki lämpimästi tervetulleeksi. Meillä on tänään suurta emeritus Piispa Munib Younanin juhlakirja julkaistaan tänään ja vain parin tunnin päästä hänet voidaan Helsingin yliopiston kunniatohtoriksi. Dear friends, on behalf of the Church Council of Finland and the International Relations, I warmly welcome you to this event. This event will be also streamed and shown in the YouTube channel of the Church Council and can be followed there.
Nastaan erityisesti rauhan, oikeudenmukaisuuden ja ihmisoikeuksien puolesta Pyhällä maalla ja Lähi-idässä, minä sanoisin, että koko maailmassa. On siis kaikki syy iloita tästä sinapin siemenen kertomuksesta. Itse näen siinä hyvän Jumalan johdatusta. Rakkaat Piispa Munib ja Suat, toivon, että tekin voisitte nähdä. Tänään on suuri juhlapäivänne psalmin sanoin. Tämän päivän on Herra tehnyt, iloitkaa ja riemuitkaa siitä. Lämpimästi tervetuloa. Ja koska tämä on kirjan julkaisemistilaisuus, niin me julkaisemme täällä kirjan. Ja haluan sen luovuttaa aivan ensimmäiseksi jubilaarille ja teille toimittajille. Saanko pyytää? He näkevät tämän ensimmäistä kertaa. Maria. Ja. Minä olen myös kukkaistyttöni.
Kiitos.
Annetaan.
Hyvät ystävät, niin kuin Piispa Jari Jolkkonen sanoi, tämä on julkaisutilaisuus ja seuraavaksi kuulemmekin kirjan toimittajilta, tohtori Maria Leppäkarilta ja tohtori Isaac Munterilta kirjan sisällöstä ja todennäköisesti myös hiukan toimitusprosessista. Next I will welcome doctors Maria Leppäkari and Isaac Munter for the keynote of introduction to the Festschrift. And the stage is yours, please.
Well, good morning. It is indeed a privilege to be with you in this very special occasion and to be part of this book launch. It has been a privilege, and I must say this in the beginning, to work with Dr. Maria on this work, to be co-editors of this exceptional volume. I enjoyed working with you, Maria, and Maria is an important thinker and theologian herself. And I learned so much over the years from our friendship first, and of course from working together on this project. So thank you to Maria first. But it was really a privilege to work on this project, given the quality of the authors who contributed to this project, and the depth and wealth of material in this volume. It is indeed exceptional. This volume brings all the continent of the world. It brings different faith tradition, church traditions, with a wide range of topics, all in top scholarly manner, but also in passion and humanity. There is certainly diversity in the articles, in terms of the topics and the backgrounds, but there is also a common thread of a passion for a better world marked by peace. For that, we are truly, Maria and myself, indebted for all the amazing authors who are in this volume. And of course, the other main thread throughout the volume is our deep respect and appreciation for the life, ministry, and our own friendships with Bishop Munib Younanin, who in different ways inspired all of us, each of us, the contributors of this volumes and the editor. This book is only one way of expressing our gratitude to Bishop Younanin. There are several ways and words to describe the living legacy of Bishop Younanin, and we tried our best to have each one of these themes that characterized his ministry to be part of this book and part of this witness, and to be represented in the chapters of this volume. But it is indeed a very difficult task, given the many contributions of Bishop Younanin, which begins from his unique and complex identity: a Palestinian, Christian, Lutheran, refugee, and Jerusalemite, all in one person. Each one of these components played an equally important role in his public theology and witness. So to try to cover all of that in one volume has been really challenging. Bishop Younanin was indeed a global leader. The phrase, "from Jerusalem to the ends of the earth," continued to be a reality throughout his life. He was ordained in Jerusalem, of course, as a pastor then and a bishop, and in both occasions highlighted the verse, "I am not ashamed by the gospel of Christ, لا أستحي بإنجيل المسيح." And indeed, throughout his life, he was never hesitant or reserved in his deliberations of the truth of the gospel. Bishop Munib is always straightforward. There is no diplomacy sometimes in his... Believe me, as pastors under his leadership, we know this. He spoke directly to congregants, to colleagues, to faith leaders, church leaders, politicians, and presidents, and has always been direct, outspoken, and straightforward. Indeed, he was never ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Bishop Munin's life was one of public witness and theology. And it's really hard to give this justice, especially in the Palestinian context, where he was truly a pioneer in the concept of public witness, the church's public role. In our context, there is this perception that faith leaders should only speak about spiritualities and heaven, but not about politics, justice, occupation, interfaith, education, gender, all of which have been always visible, manifest in the ministry of Bishop Younanin. And to be Bishop Younanin was a public theologian in practice. He didn't write books on public theology, but church and public engagement has always been the character of his ministry. And I hope that this book seeks to bring all of that into words, especially in the global context. I'm happy to say we're almost done working on an Arabic book of Bishop Younanin's writings that expresses his public theology and witness in the Palestinian context as well. And I hope that all of this will give justice to a long career of engagement with issues related not just to the Palestinian context, where he had so much passion to address the injustices of the education, to bring faith leaders together, to highlight the role of religion in bringing peace, but also on the global scale in his work for gender justice, especially creation care, refugee rights and migrants' rights, a world, an inclusive world, and all of this, and of course, ecumenism as well. A witness to the support for Yunan's ministry and global mission are the many friends, local and international advocates, and theological experts that have contributed to this book. So again, let me express Maria and myself thank you to each and everyone for their contributions. The chapters of this book consist of selected collection of articles by experts that have closely worked with Bishop Younanin over the course of more than 40 years. The articles reflect both his ministry and him as a person, his theological legacy and global work in the public square. The topics covered in this book include Lutheran identity, Protestant Reformation, ecumenism, interfaith, socio-economic justice, gender justice, the Palestinian context, and two wonderful chapters on hope. For decades, Bishop Younanin has been encouraging, coaching, and advising religious leaders, lay persons, and academics in their work, and through that, our pursuit of peace. This anthology is dedicated to Bishop Munib Younanin in the form of a festschrift. In conclusion, let me say these words. This book comes in a very difficult period for us as Palestinians, as we face an increasingly aggressive Israeli government with an exclusive, dismissive ideology against us as Palestinians and as Christians. Bishop Younanin's commitment for peace, his prophetic stand against the occupation, his vision of an inclusive kingdom of God could not have been needed more today. And we hope that these articles, we hope that his legacy inspires church leaders to work toward a world of peace and justice. And finally, a word about this place, Finland. I'm so happy to be in Finland for the first time. It's going to be less than 24 hours. I arrived at 1 a.m. and I leave immediately after the award. But I promise to come back, and I hope to come back and spend more time and to get to know you more. But Finland, no doubt, was an important and shaping station in the life journey of Bishop Munib Younanin. I know for a fact that this country and its people have a special place in his heart. And so to see things come full circle in this book launch and in the celebration later today is truly fitting and truly special. So in the end, we would like, Maria and I, to extend our gratitude for the organizers of this event, for the Luther Agricola Society, Bishop Yari, of course, and all who worked to bring this book to fruition and this event as well. As a Palestinian and as a Palestinian Christian, I am grateful for the special friendship we have between our peoples and between our two churches. Mabruk, Sayyidna. Shukran, thank you from my heart. I'm honored by our friendship and that of our family, and thank you for everything that you have taught me over the years. And may we celebrate your 80th birthday in a world free of occupation and apartheid. Thank you.
Arvoisat vieraat, tämä on suuri kunnia tänään olla täällä teidän kanssanne jakamassa tätä iloa. Ystävämme, oppaamme, piispamme, Munib Younanin. Tämä on meille tärkeä päivä. Tämä kirja kuvastaa omassa prosessissaan myöskin sitä taistelua, mitä käydään Jerusalemissa. Matka on ollut pitkä. Ja me olemme kiitollisia siitä, että meillä on ollut suuri ilo ja apu Piispa Jolkkusesta ja Luther Agricola-säätiön toimesta. Me olemme hyvin kiitollisia, että kaikki kirjoittajat tässä kirjassa saivat artikkelinsa tehtyä, vaikka maailmalla oli tämä karmea pandemia päällä. Täällä Suomessa me elettiin aika hyvissä oloissa verrattuna monessa muussa paikassa. Meillä oli haasteita. Jollakin tasolla tämä kuvastaa mielestäni prosessina niitä haasteita, jotka palestiinalaiskristityt ystävämme Jerusalemissa ja Länsirannalla kohtaavat joka päivä. Minulta meinas loppua toivo tämän kirjan suhteen. Mutta Piispa Younanin on meille opettanut, että toivosta ei luovuteta. Hänen profetaalisen äänensä ja hänen persoonansa ei vaan anna periksi. Ja niin hän meitä myöskin tämän prosessin aikana tuki, veti ja työnsi. Olin Jerusalemissa melkein 8 vuotta töissä Ruotsin teologisen instituutin johtajana. Ensimmäisen tapaamisemme meidät toi yhteen Göran Gunnar, kollegamme Ruotsista. Siinä tapaamisessa minulle sanottiin, että tämän piispan kanssa kannattaa sitten käydä semmoisia jatkuvia keskusteluja. Ja että hän haluaa kuulla, miten johtajalla siellä instituutissa menee, että se pitää selvänä. Kun me ensimmäisen kerran tavattiin, niin mehän puhuimme suomea. Ja siinä heti syntyi semmoinen yhteisymmärrys. No, me tavattiin usein ja me opimme tuntemaan toisemme. Ja me löydettiin teologinen tie, mitä kuljimme yhdessä. Siinä aikana piispa kysyi minulta monesti, Maria, vihitään sinut papiksi. Ja minä sanoin, ei tapahdu. No, kuinka ollakaan piispa oli loppupeleissä ihan oikeassa, että tuli se päivä, jolloin minut vihittiin papiksi Jerusalemissa 2019. Ja tämä kirja yhdessä Munterin kanssa ja kaikkien näiden arvostettujen teologien toimesta toimitettuna on osoittanut meille tien, joka haastaa teologit, haastaa akateemikot, haastaa meidät kaikki yksilönä toimimaan tässä maailmassa kristittynä. Ja me teemme sen yhdessä, menettämättä sitä toivoa, mikä Jumala on meille antanut. Joten kiitos teille, Luther Agrikola-säätiö, kiitos Piispa Jolkkunen ja Kuopion hiippakunta. Kiitos kaikille, jotka on ollut tässä mukana. Ja erityisen paljon kiitos Younanin ja Suad ja Munter. Kiitos.
Hyvät ystävät, seuraavaksi kuulemme kommentteja ja puheenvuoron arvoisan piispa Munib Younanin puolesta. Next we're going to hear comments and a speech on behalf of the honorary Bishop Munib Younanin. Welcome.
Thank you. Your Graces, our dear Ambassador of Palestine, of the State of Palestine, my friends and our family. First of all, thanks be to God that we meet today for launching this festschrift. It's my honor and privilege to stand here thanking all of you who honor me with this festschrift. I would like to thank Luther Agricola Seura for honoring me with this publication. The initiative of the two editors, Reverend Dr. Maria Lepakari and Reverend Dr. Munder Ishaq, is now materializing, have exerted huge efforts and time either by selecting the academics, professors, and leaders who worked with me in various missions in my life, or followed the whole process of publishing, and he has a good contribution about education in it. I hope that the Luther Agricola Seura will send some copies to his dear family in Namibia, and also to His Excellency President Harold Guyop, the President of Namibia, who knows about this Festschrift and wants to see a copy of that. I hope you can send it to them. The biblical verse, as Dr. Munther has said, that guided me throughout my life, either through my ordination or my consecration or in any task in my life, is, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of salvation to everyone who has faith." This verse continues to teach me to be a servant of God, as well as a servant of the servants in any mission Christ calls me to do. As evangelical Lutheran, the vocation of preaching the gospel and celebrating the sacraments is for the ordained as well as for every believer in Jesus Christ. The faculty of theology in the University of Helsinki, and some of my teachers are here, like Eero, Bishop Eero, and Bishop Viller Jekinen, and others, and of course Yoko Sihvo is also with us, but he didn't come. So I'm really happy to see that my teacher has formed me theologically. My professors and teachers gave me a solid and robust theological education. Above all, they taught me how to do theology in context, but not to be a parrot-like theologian. The witness and the mission of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Finland and their 5 revival movements have taught me theology in action and theology in a Finnish context. Their influence has formed me to become a contextual liberation theologian that would carry the gospel of Christ's love and grace either in my Palestinian context that lives under occupation and is hopeless, especially at the moment, or in the Middle East environments, or in LWF, or in the ecumenical movement, or interfaith relation, or whatever Christ calls me to serve. And I continue to carry the gospel of love to the Arab and Palestinian context. My diaconical education at Seurakunta Opisto, Luther Opisto in Järvenpää, as Bishop Jari said, because of Simo Palosvuo, and who really celebrated 50 years and asked that the flowers money will educate a Palestinian Christian. And when he passed away, my friends, my sister Pirko and Ilka Jaskilainen here, they asked me to write a letter. I said, had Simo known that this Palestinian boy will become a bishop or the Bishop of Jerusalem or LWF president, would he ever give him that scholarship? So I don't know if this can be or not. So, but it is really important that sometimes small things are important. You give hope in a hopeless situation. You know, the Järvenpää taught me that diaconia is an integral part of the mission of a called person. Being either a pastor, a bishop, LWF president, or ecumenical and interfaith initiator, or peace activist, or justice broker. Missio Dei always includes prophetic diaconia. This means that the missional church is always the church that carries the gospel of love to every context in sustainable and dignified ways. I'm a Palestinian refugee. I'm always indebted to our Lutheran church in Jerusalem that embraced me and my family, educated me, empowered me, called me to serve my people, and empowered me to work for liberation and justice, not only under the Israeli occupation, but in the whole world. The prophetic diaconical mission continues to be the mark of the witnessing church. This is my call to my church in Palestine and to Evangelical Lutheran Church in Finland to embrace the refugees and migrants, educate them, and empower them to become ministers of justice and ambassadors of reconciliation in our broken world. This is the call of the church today, not to live in safe spaces, but to go and have diaconical, prophetic diaconia in our world. Otherwise, we will lose our witness. Some would say that Palestinian Christians are only 1% of the total population. How can you then influence your whole society? My answer is that our Christian presence in itself, as small as it is in itself a witness to the whole society. As long as we carry the gospel of love in our various ways and in our context, then we have impact in our Palestinian society. I'm always reminded of the story of John the Evangelist when he was a very old man living in Ephesus. He was weak, that his disciples could hardly carry him to church, and he had difficulty speaking several words together in a connected thought. It became his practice to utter nothing except this simple sentence: "My little children, love each other." His disciples who lived with him got bored hearing the same words again and again, and finally asked him, "Master, why do you always say this? Love each other." He answered with the saying worthy of John, "Because this is the Lord's command. If this alone is done in our world, it is enough." If we love each other, there will be no wars, no Ukraine, there will be no occupation, even in Palestine. As long as we Arab Palestinian Christians carry the gospel of love to our context and the world, then we are a church in mission to our society. Finally, all of you have overwhelmed me with your love that I will always treasure in my heart. In this festive occasion, I want to remember also my late parents, Andrea and Alice, who planted the evangelical seed of faith in me and very supportive of my call. I'm also indebted to my dear wife, Suad, who never spared a moment of love and advice in my demanding vocatio. In times of difficulty and crisis, she was always a faithful accompanier, encouraging me to do God's mission, whatever is the price. Suad and myself always worked as a team to proclaim God's love to our people and society, especially in education and gender justice. The same support I also get from my 3 children and their spouses and our 7 grandchildren. Above all, I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who continues to call me to be his servant in various tasks even today. For I am really out of office, but I am never out of God's mission, including prophetic diaconia, until the last breath of my life. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. God bless you all.
Kiitos, Piispa. Thank you, Bishop. Seuraavaksi avaamme keskustelun kysymyksille ja kommenteille. Ja pyytäisin teitä toimimaan niin, että jos kysymys tai kommentti tulee mieleen joillekin puhujille tai muuten tähän projektiin, kirjaan tai tietysti arvoisaan piispa Munib Younaniin liittyen, nostaisitte kätenne, niin tuo mikrofonin striimiä varten sitten sinne teidän luoksenne. Next we're going to open questions and comments. And I would suggest that if you have questions or comments for any of our keynote speakers or about this process, or straight to Honorary Bishop Munib Younanin, you will raise your hand and I will come with the microphone so that we get your questions also to the stream. Please.
Thank you. I want to say thank you for all what you are doing for us and for His eminent Bishop Munib Younanin. He's a son of Palestine, and Palestine also will not forget him. And what I hear from all what about the book and the title of the book, yes, he's presenting peace, and peace, it is in him because he's a refugee, Palestinian refugee. He's from Jerusalem, as they say, and the message of peace will start from Jerusalem, and it comes to Jerusalem. If there is no peace in Jerusalem, there will no any peace in the world. And for this word, I thank you very much for all your offers to our people and in the sector of education and other things. Thank you.
Niin, hyvät ystävät, pikkusen täydennystä piispa Munib Younanin erääseen tärkeään tehtävään, eli toimimiseen luterilaisen maailmanliiton presidenttinä. Se on täällä mainittu. Ihailin tavattomasti sinun kykyäsi johtaa puhetta neuvostojen kokouksissa, myöskin yleiskokouksissa. Voi olla, että se, että aikanaan sä tutustuit Suomeen ja niin kuin mainitsit meidän eri herätysliikkeisiin ja aika kirjaviin kristinuskon tulkintoihin ihan yhdenkin kirkon piirissä, tämä varmaan antoi hyvää taustaa siihen, niin kuin miten kokoavasti, kuuntelevasti, ymmärtävästi ja samalla määrätietoisesti johdit luterilaisen maailmanliiton toimintaa. Eli on hyvin tärkeää nähdä että niin kuin koko luterilaisen kommunion näkökulmasta piispa Munib Younanilla on ollut tavattoman tärkeä rooli. Olet johtanut sitä organisaatiota sellaisissa tilanteissa, jossa sen sisällä on ollut monia jännitteitä, mutta juuri tuolla omalla valoisalla, kokoavalla tyylilläsi olet pitänyt huolta siitä, että myös tämä kommunio on päässyt eteenpäin. Lämpimät kiitokset.
Bishop Munib, you know how much I love you. You know, and I'm honored to be the first pastor that Bishop Munib ordained, you know, in 1999. I remember that day very well, and under his guidance, I became actually a pastor. Unfortunately, I'm not pastoring in the Lutheran Church in Jerusalem anymore, but I'm still always in my heart. You are always in my heart, and I always think about you. And I say something, Bishop Munib has contributed to form my personality. I took my personality as a pastor from him because he was also my pastor for a long time. Thank you, Bishop. We are always proud of you. And thank you, Munder and Maria. You are the last person to be ordained by Bishop Munib Younanin during his... Oh, was it? Munder was the last. Okay, I thought that it was you. Okay. So,
He was critical but loving.
Oh, we always loved Bishop Munib. We always loved him so much. And he's been always like a father to us. So thank you, Bishop Munib. And we are really honored. Yeah. And here is Saad wants to speak. So.
Can I?
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you also, of course, on behalf of my husband, and thank you, Munib, for mentioning our inspiration as family, and of course, friends, you're all family to Munib. But I wanted to emphasize really one aspect here. Of course, it appears very humbly in this book. It's just a short paper about a transformational event in the life of the church as far as policy making and the implementation of a new policy in the church constitution. I hope you'll read it, and actually this will be part of my dissertation for my PhD studies, but it's not the matter now. I wanted to say that apart from the traits, leadership traits and theological skills that Munib and others as leaders have, I know that in our context, we need to have transformative leaders, not transformational, transformative that are able to impact and powerfully using their power and authority to make impact and change fixtures. And this was a very important aspect at that stage to change and to implement the gender justice policy in our church and to establish an ecclesiastical court, so we separated from the Anglican Episcopal Court and from, of course, Islamic Sharia law, and with the blessing of President Mahmoud Abbas and with the approval of the Synod, our first Lutheran family court was established in our church to give justice to women and children in all aspects of family issues. So hadn't it been, now I might sound subjective and emotional here, but no, I say it as a person who's heavily involved in advocacy. I work with both Jewish and Palestinian scholars and American scholars as well, and we're taking this model. Hadn't it been to his leadership in being there and in also influencing the council and the synod, such a change wouldn't have occurred. You see, context in the world. Thank you, and for bearing with me. So thank you. Thank you, Munib.
Täällä on tuotu esille piispa Munibin ja hänen kirkkonsa panos koko yhteiskunnalle. Pieni kirkko ylläpitää kouluja Länsirannalla, joka mahdollistaa sen, että nuoret saavat mahdollisuuden kouluttautua ja myöskin työllistyä omassa maassaan. Muutoin ne poistyöntävät voimat Palestiinasta ovat vakava uhka sille, että teidän kirkkonne säilyy siellä. Ja nämä kirkko Toivon koulu Ramallahissa ja muut koulut niin eivät ole ainoastaan luterilaisille kristityille, nuorille ja lapsille, vaan siellä on valtaosa muiden kirkkokuntien ja uskontokuntien lapsia. Sillä on valtava yhteiskuntaa eheyttävä ja rauhanrakentava merkitys. Toinen asia, kastepaikan kirkko Jordanjoen varrella, kirkkosi hankkeena on ollut hieno asia. Se muistuttaa Jeesuksen kasteen merkityksestä ja Jumalan sanoista evankeliumissa. Tämä on minun rakas poikani, johon minä olen mielistynyt, kuulkaa häntä. Se, että tuo kastepaikan kirkko siellä tuon mukaan vetää jatkossa myöskin sinne pyhiinvaeltajia yhä enemmän, niin muistuttaa teidän kirkkonne tärkeydestä sillan rakentajana.
Terve jätkä. I recall in my mind some memories from the time you studied in Helsinki. You were already at that time both an ecumenical and a good Lutheran theologian. We both remember the times you were also the student of Seppo Teinonen. Seppo Teinonen converted to the Catholic Church, but you have been a Lutheran theologian. One sign of that history in your own life is that I remember that you translated the Augsburg Confession to the Arabic language, and that was a sign you brought the Lutheran heritage also to your own environment. Thank you, Munib, for the friendship and for your good Lutheran theology. Thank you very much.
Hyvä Munib ja hyvä Suad, lämmin kiitos puheenvuoroistanne. Olisi paljon muisteltavaa vaikkapa siitä, miten aikanaan edistimme palestiinalaista vapautuksen teologiaa erinäisissä seminaareissa Jerusalemissa, Kyproksella tai muualla. En puhu niistä nyt, vaan yhden sellaisen keventävän muiston tuon tähän tilaisuuteen. Se oli hetkestä, jolloin sinut vihittiin piispaksi Jerusalemissa. Ja kirkko oli aivan tupaten täynnä. Me, jotka osallistuimme siunaukseen, olimme siellä kirkon etuosassa, mutta siellä istui myös 5 palestiinalaisen silloisen johtaja Yasser Arafatin henkivartijaa. Ja tuli yllätys siihen protokollaan. Nimittäin kun sinut oli asetettu virkaasi, niin nämä 5 miestä nousivat ylös, tulivat sinne eteen, ottivat hänet kiinni ja heittivät 3 ilmaan. 2 kertaa he ottivat kiinni. 3. hän tuli omin jaloin siihen alas. Ja sen porukan johtajan selitys kuului: palestiinalaispiispan pitää aina tipahtaa jaloilleen. Se osoittaa sitä suurta luottamusta, mitä oma kansasi ja mitä monet muut kirkot ja luterilainen maailmanliitto ovat sinua kohtaan tunteneet. Ja niin kuin me kaikki tunnemme. Kiitos siitä, että olette olemassa.
Yes, Your Eminences, bishops, colleagues and friends, the University of Helsinki will give you, Munib, today the honorary doctorate to somehow celebrate your achievements and your lifetime work in service of the Church, justice and peace. I would personally like to add to this that what is very important for us at the university as well as in the Church is also your personality, your way of being a role model for all of us. And I think in the university, when we are educating young students, we want to say that the achievements are important, but we also want to convey the information that you need role models. You need people who walk around the world, who are globally interested, who are never tired in spite of adversities, and who can convey hope to other people. And this has been your talent, and this is what we remember also at the university today, in the future. I have a doctoral student who will do her doctorate work on your theology and your literary legacy, so we will not forget you after this day, but this interaction will go on into the future. Thank you for all you have done.
Kiitos oikein paljon. Kirkkohallituksen ulkoasianosaston puolesta kiitän kovasti kaikkia paikalle tulleita, arvoisaa suurlähettilästä ja piispaa Munib Younania sekä kaikkia puhujia. Täällä arvoisa piispa vielä pyytää, että saisimmeko yhden puheenvuoron, ja katson tässä Jaria, että vieläkö ehdittäisiin yksi.
Vielä ehditään. Päivä on täynnä kiitollisuutta. Sen merkiksi ajattelin, että pidämme päätössanat yhdessä. Laulamme 3 säkeistöä huviviikossa.
Otetaan sitä ennen vielä yksi puheenvuoro ja sitten sitten laitetaan tuossa.
Oikein hyvä. Hieman muuta.
Kiitos. Mun nimi on Hanna Greffe ja mä en ole teologi. Mä olen Munibin kummityttö. I'm going to switch to English so that Suad also understands. Yeah. This is a very happy day also for me and my family. We are so proud of you, Munib, and I'm happy to have you. You have been in my life all my life because you came to Finland the year that I was born and you became my godfather, and then you spent your vacations in Kannus in my family. And I just showed some people of you babysitting me and my my sister, and I'm so happy to have that our families still have this very strong connection. And the funny thing is that one funny story, you always bring us baklava when you come to Järvenpää. And once one of the daughters of my sister asked, so let me make this clear. So Munib is a baker, right? So, no way. So maybe that's one skill that he doesn't have. But thank you, Munib. Congratulations for you. Congratulations, Suad. And thank you for a wonderful speech here today. Yeah.
Kuten huomaatte, kummitytön puhe täytyy tässä saada kyllä vielä mahtumaan. Kiitos siitä, Piispa. Ulkoasianosaston puolesta toivotamme teille ja perheellenne paljon Jumalan siunausta ja kaikkea hyvää. Inshallah me näemme täällä 10 vuoden päästä ja juhlimme jälleen.
Kiitos, tämä oli hyvä kummitytön puheenvuoro. Täällä, niin kuin sanottu, niin päivä on täynnä kiitollisuutta. Ehkä yksi kiitos pitää vielä mainita. Se on henkilö tuolla takana, eli Anna-Maija Rajala, joka on Luther-agrikola-seuran puolesta se, joka on puskenut suomalaisella sisulla tämän projektin päätökseen. Ajattelen, että hänkin ansaitsee meidän lämpimät aplodit. Tämän päivän on Herra tehnyt iloiskaamme ja riehuiskaamme siitä. Ehdotan, että laulamme suvivirren kolmesäkein. Tai jos tonne saadaan, niin menee se 4. Eikö niin?
Ihan hetki, niin toivottavasti saamme.
Sitä paitsi kaikilla on virsikirja nykyisin povitasossa.